I hope you people appreciate what I do for you because I have to read Jagmeet Singh tweets at times, and it's been taking years off my life having to watch someone who is this economically illiterate try and make a point on a social media platform. Man, it's insane just seeing how bad Jagmeet Singh is on economics. You think he'd know something about it because I assume he's gone to university and had to take an economics course at some point. A lot of degrees, especially if you go into law like he did, usually eventually have a little bit of economics you have to take so you don't go into the world looking like Jagmeet Singh making a fool of himself. But I guess it just didn't work for him. But Jagmeet Singh is pushing this an absurd plan that, well, the liberals aren't doing enough to lower the prices of food. And like, what's his plan? I do the liberals' plan, but I do the plan more, plus illegal measures. Jagmeet Singh just thinks if he keeps saying that CEOs are rich, that somehow Canadians will say, well, maybe we should let this moron, Jagmeet Singh, run the country, and he'll then go and keep blaming everything on Loblaws as prices naturally go up. But don't worry, he can fix those rising prices because Jagmeet Singh is deeply against price fixing until he is actually in favor of price fixing from the government side. Anyways, I want to get into a few of these tweets that he put out today because it's just absurd. Or yesterday. Sometimes I have to compile some tweets from other days. He said food prices are up 30%. Meanwhile, Loblaws, Sobeys, and Metro collectively earned $3.6 billion in profits in 2022. If the Prime Minister is serious about helping, he'll tell Canadians where he stands with you or your grocery CEOs. Okay, one, Jagmeet Singh is a notorious liar when it comes to grocery store profitability. Remember a few weeks ago when he claimed that Sobeys had made 52% more profits in a quarter than they did last year? That was a complete lie. It was just their parent organization, Enterprise Incorporated, who sold off a bunch of gas stations, so it made artificially looked like they were super profitable that quarter when they just sold a bunch of capital off. So those gas stations no longer generate them any money. So obviously that is a one-time little bit of income. Also, Jagmeet Singh, when he's mentioning all this stuff about grocery CEOs, like $3.6 billion among three massive grocery store conglomerates is not that much for a year like 2022. Also, Jagmeet Singh is an incredibly dishonest person when it comes to what he considers profit and revenue. He constantly mixes the terms together and he'll say how much they earned, but he'll never actually say how much they paid out in employee salaries, how much did they pay in taxes, how much did they do, and all this other stuff. Loblaws and all these other places didn't just make $3.6 billion and give it to Galen Weston, who runs Loblaws. That's not what happened, but Jagmeet Singh would like to pretend that that's what happens because he's a very dishonest person trying to win votes in the typical socialist manner of saying rich people are screwing you over because you're buying groceries and that's somehow like hurting you. Getting the products you need at the lowest possible prices is hurting you. And again, the prices that Loblaws and other grocery stores are offering their food at is indeed pretty much as low as you could possibly get. Go to a convenience store and tell me that Loblaws is ripping you off. The smaller the vendor usually dictates the higher the margin they charge on items is going to be. Costco and Loblaws and Co-op, they make like anywhere from one, sometimes it's even negative because it's just they have items on sale for an incentive to buy even though they don't make any money on them, but they usually have anywhere from 1 to at highest 5% profit margins on their products. And when I say profit margins, I just mean on like the amount of money that they make over what it costs for them to bring in the product. That still doesn't account for paying employees, paying for the infrastructure and all that. That is not baked in there. But Jagmeet Singh, again, wants to ignore all that because he wants you to be angry at grocery CEOs. I'm not sitting here standing up for CEOs. I don't really care. The whole point is that it's just that the CEOs aren't doing anything wrong. And people are always like, the CEOs are paid $10 million a year or whatever. Who cares? The reason why CEOs are paid so much is because they work like 70 hours a week and the company's only paying them as much as they do because they are going to generate even more revenue and profit for the company, which means that like employees can get paid more, which means that the company's healthier, the jobs are more stable, they can open up more locations and hire more people. There's nothing wrong with someone being paid what they were offered. This is why I don't exactly support minimum wages, because at the end of the day, by supporting a higher minimum wage, you are basically saying, yeah, that 1,000 people in the city shouldn't be allowed to have a job because we've artificially raised the wage, meaning that those 1,000 people are going to be fired to offset the raises everyone else is going to get. It's an incredibly selfish way of viewing economics. Anyways, I just want to move on to the next tweet by him that he directed at Mr. Polyev from the Conservative Party. He said, "Pierre, I know you'll do anything for CEOs, lying included. When you were in government, they were fixing the prices of bread criminally. What do? Hoard them with billions in tax giveaways. You're a pretender. I see through you, and so do Canadians." Okay, like the bread price fixing thing. Okay, that was an extremely stupid scandal. I believe that the grocery store chains actually were found to be fixing the price of bread. Also, what were they fixing the price of bread at? Like a few, maybe a few cents extra. You can't really fix the price of bread very high because everyone would complain. You can't sell a loaf of bread at a Safeway for $5. People would riot. Like they were saying that they were price fixing bread at like $2.25. It was very low. Still unethical. Still should be get a slap on the wrist or something worse for that. But if that's the worst thing he can point at Pierre Poilievre for, the fact that Pierre Poilievre was a backbencher when this stuff happened, that's a pretty pathetic point for Jagmeet Singh to be making. And Pierre Poilievre's entirely correct in his tweet where he says that Jagmeet Singh is literally part of Trudeau's government. So as Jagmeet Singh sits around whining that the prices of food are going up because of inflation concept Jagmeet Singh denies the existence of. He just thinks inflation is something that Galen Weston and the grocery store CEOs invented to artificially price gouge Canadians. Ridiculous. But yeah, I think that Jagmeet Singh's probably on his way out. It's like what I talked about yesterday. Jagmeet Singh only has a 78% chance of winning his seat again in Burnaby South. I think I don't think he'll lose his seat because he'll just dump more money in his seat to make sure he doesn't lose. But that shows how unpopular someone like Jagmeet Singh is. Every other federal leader, Elizabeth May included, has a 99.9% chance by 338's projections to win their seats. Their seats are not in question. Jagmeet Singh's is still a little bit in question because people see him as useless. He's just as bad as Justin Trudeau on policy, if not worse, but he's in a position where, in theory, he should be holding Justin Trudeau accountable, and all he does is whine and then rubber stamps everything Justin Trudeau does. So anyways, I just now want to skip ahead to the tweet that's actually from today. Or no, it is from yesterday. I'm a liar. I'm sorry. Anyway, but Jagmeet Singh says, so the Liberals are going to trust the same people who conspired to fix the price of bread. Also, he has to really get off the bread price fixing thing. It's not as good of a talking point as he thinks. Anyways, he says, he's going to trust the same people who conspired to fix the price of bread to make food affordable. That's what today's big announcement is. A lot of tough talk, but at the end of the day, their strategy is to trust Galen Weston and ignore you. And I'm not even kidding. He invokes the name of Galen Weston all the time. He is Jagmeet Singh's Lord Voldemort, and I do not doubt that Jagmeet Singh will one day try and break into Galen Weston's house to try and find all of the hidden profits Galen Weston's holding back from the Canadian people. And whenever people call out the NDP as basically being a proto-socialist party, that's not a lie. Yes, the NDP more acts like a trade unionist party these days, the economic system behind fascism. But they're always moving more towards a socialistic economy where they want to nationalize more, or at least they want to have such high regulations that effectively the government controls entire industries, because everything in that industry depends on the regulation, not the hard work and efforts of the people who work in that industry. But again, Jagmeet Singh is whining about bread price fixing and all this other stuff that happened like a decade ago, more than a decade ago, I believe. Yet he's literally in favor of price fixing. He just thinks that he should be able to fix prices lower, and that's a good form of price fixing. It's not. You are taking money away from businesses that hire people. I would not be surprised if they start fixing prices and inflation keeps going up. Grocery stores will start having to lay off workers to make up for lost revenue, or raise the prices on other items that are not being fixed in order to make up for the prices, or they'll just close entirely, because Jagmeet Singh sucks at economics, and if he was prime minister, I could see him fixing prices at a level where grocery stores are literally at a net loss for every unit of a product they sell. Jagmeet Singh doesn't understand that every grocery store is incentivized to sell at a lower price of all the other stores in order to get more customers. Yes, there's these these tiny moments in Canadian history where grocery stores get caught kind of fixing the price of a singular item. But for the most part, grocery stores compete on price. It would be foolish to get into a compact with other grocery stores and try and raise all prices on Canadians and price gouge them secretly behind the scenes When if you're Sobeys, you could just keep your prices low, everyone else raises theirs, and then you immediately make a bunch of money. There is a lot of incentives not to go along with the crowd in a properly capitalistic economy. But don't tell Jagmeet Singh that, because he'll probably call you racist or something. Anyways, that's it for me today. I hope that you feel bad for me having to read Jagmeet Singh tweets and talk about them. And if you are, please consider donating to my Give, Send, Go for my legal fund as well as my travel fund. I'm heading out to Toronto on October 12th, and I'll be there for the protest on October 14th at Chrystia Freeland's office, where I will be protesting alongside Daniel Boardman and Salman Seema against the stupid regulations on podcasts the Liberal government are trying to put forward to basically end independent media. I'll be there on the 14th at 4 p.m. So consider donating to my legal/travel fund. It really helps me out, offset all the costs, because again, TNT is not making money. Almost no independent media, I can tell you, makes any money. Even if they have big subscription bases, they tend to need big donors in the background to keep them functioning, because the regulations Justin Trudeau and the CRTC have put in place on media and the pressure they put on big tech platforms over time have effectively gutted the ability for anyone new to break into the market without heavily government subsidization and actually be able to keep themselves afloat without basically being in media out of a sense of charity. I'm always doing this out of a sense of charity because this has only been a big net loss for me. I also have the TNT email list in the description. If you click on that link for the TNT emails, you can get our videos and articles sent directly to your inbox, and that way you don't actually have to rely on a big tech algorithm in order to see our stuff. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you next time.